Are you showing up on the first page of Google? Should be prioritizing search engine optimization be a part of your marketing mix for your lash business? Stay tuned to get my take on SEO and showing up on the first page of Google. My viewpoint just might give you a sigh of relief. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tara Walsh. I'm a licensed esthetician, master lash artist, and a business coach, consultant, and marketing strategist for lash artists just like you. This is the Lessons of a Lashpreneur, where I coach lash artists on bite-sized ways to start, build, and grow a thriving lash business. If something connects with you today, I'd love for you to show me likes, hearts, and if you know of another lash artist or two who would benefit from this information, please feel free to share. All right, so let's get into search engine optimization, or SEO. And is this something that you should be spending a lot of time doing in order to show up first page on Google? Is it even worth it to show up on the first page of Google? I definitely have a very strong opinion about this. So let's dive in. Let's start off with what exactly is search engine optimization. Let's talk about search engines first, right? So let's use Google as our example of a search engine. There's also Yahoo, Bing, but Google's obviously the most well-known. What that is, if you think about it, it's not just you type in words and magically they appear. That is what happens on our end, but there is a computer process that happens in order to show you those results. So when you type in, let's say, eyelash extensions in San Diego, it's not like Google automatically knows, oh, Tara's a lash artist who does eyelash extensions in San Diego, let me put her up there. It's not that at all. It's actually a computer process, we'll call it an algorithm, that goes out and scours the web. Think about how massive the internet is and how much information is out there. A search engine is basically just a filter to give you the most relevant results for what it is that you're describing or what it is that you're searching for. So when you think about search engine optimization, it's actually just the practice or the theory of getting you through that filter and ranked high enough so that you show up in the first few pages of Google. Because really, if you're on like page 4,072,000, nobody's ever going to see you. So the practice and the theory of showing up and ranking on a Google search is what we call search engine optimization. And what that looks like is, because Google is looking at every piece of information online, it's going through websites and it's trying to find this phrase or this word that you've Google searched on your website. So it's trying to make a match with a match, right? It's not this super intuitive thing where if you say lashes that last, it's going to think, oh, eyelash extensions, right? In San Diego, these two must be related. No, it's going to look for eyelash extensions in San Diego on your website. Whether it's blatant on your website, like you can visually see you put eyelash extensions in San Diego there, or if it's hidden on the back end of the website where maybe a user couldn't see it, but the Google bots or the Google spiders or whatever you want to call them will actually look at those things. So Google is not actually seeing a picture on your website. It's actually looking at what the description of the picture is or what you've titled the picture when it was uploaded into the website. So there's a whole bunch of ways that Google is looking at your website to see if Susie Q is looking for eyelash extensions in San Diego, does this website over here by Tara, lash artist in San Diego, is that relevant to eyelash extensions in San Diego? That's the comparison it's trying to make. So that's a very broad and general overview of what search engine optimization is, just so that we kind of all have the basic understanding of how it works. The bots are searching for very specific things on your website, including keywords, meta tags or descriptions, page titles, naming of photos, alt tags, all this fun stuff that lash artists, as soon as they start to hear keywords, just start to glaze over and go, oh God, I don't know what that is. I don't even know how to use it. So what I want to now dive into is it worth your time to invest your energy, time, or money into search engine optimization for your website? And is it worth your time to show up on the first page of Google? Those are two completely separate things, right? You can learn how to do SEO. You can have a fairly comprehensive understanding. I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what SEO is, but is it worth my time and energy to make sure that I'm optimized versus is it worth it also for me to show up on the first page of Google? So let's start off with, is it worth it to show up on the first page of Google? Because that will help to answer if it's worth your time to learn how to do SEO or to find somebody who does. So let's look at Google not as this thing that we have to be a part of. Let's look at what the reality of what a Google search shows you. So you Google lashes in your city or eyelash extensions in your city. What comes up? Usually the first 1 to 5 lines of businesses are paid ads, right? So people who are paying for Google ads, they are showing up based on whatever keywords you typed in. Next after that, or maybe even above that, is the map, right? So especially if you're looking for businesses, the map shows up and shows you where local businesses are, and those are usually because they have a Google account and there's Google reviews or they're active on Google. And then after that, once you start getting to the actual search results that aren't paid, what do you run into? Social media, because social media is very keyword rich. So you're competing with Yelp mainly here in the US, and Facebook are the ones that tend to pop up first. So you'll see, like in quotations, eyelash extensions, and then it'll say something about the city that you're Googling, and Yelp. All the Yelp reviews will show up. Yelp's website will come up first. Facebook is very similar because it will show you eyelash extensions is mentioned a lot, and here's some of the businesses, but it's usually just somebody's link to Facebook or Facebook's general search. So what happens after that? Then do you get to show up? It's usually then Groupon or kind of deal sites or the bigger chains or franchises or those that are more corporate that have the money to throw into a highly, highly optimized website. So if you, as the small potatoes lash artist or a solo lash artist or somebody with a small team is trying to get into maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 spots on the first page, be competing with all of the other search results and the Google ads and the social media that comes up, that's really all you're competing for to show up on the first page of Google is anywhere, let's say 4 to 8 spots. When I counted, when I Googled eyelash extensions in San Diego, it was literally 6 businesses that were not social media, Google ads, or anything like that. Those were the only open spaces that those people doing SEO were trying to compete on. So those were a lot of the larger salons. There were 2 amazing lash studios, which is a franchise business that showed up. One of them was another salon that has multiple locations. And then I think there were maybe 2 that were kind of smaller studios or solo lash artists. So let's just go with it. Let's say you show up on that first page, right? Like you made it, woohoo! What happens now? Okay, from the user experience, from the customer experience of whoever's Googling eyelash extensions in San Diego, if I kind of weed through the ads, which I know is not, they're just paying to show up, I don't know anything about them, and I look through the businesses and I see some Google reviews, I'm more likely probably go to the Google reviews because it's got that social proof, right? And then I kind of weed through, I'm not gonna look at Yelp because otherwise I would have gone to Yelp, I wouldn't have Google searched it, or I would go to Yelp because it's got more social proof there. If I finally make it down to where actual lash businesses are hanging out, what am I going to compare one business over the other on? There's nothing visual I can see to see whose work is better than the other. There's nothing visual I can see about the experience I might be having. So I'm guessing price is going to be my deciding factor, because when you show up on Google, all that is shown is text. That's it. You get, I think in what's called the snippet, you have your business name and then it's like a sentence or 2 describing what your business does. It's about 150 to 160 characters. So unless you've got your unique selling point locked down and in precise within 150 to 160 characters, by somebody clicking on your website, where do you think they're going to go first? Probably your price point. Whoever is first underneath, say, Yelp and Facebook, that first person they click on, that person then becomes the barometer of all the other price points to compare to. So if they have on there, they've done really well SEO, but they charge $100 for a full set and you're $130, guess who's out of the running? You are. Or if that first person's $200 and there's another person who's, $150 and you're $120, but there's also somebody below you who is at $80 for a full set, guess who's losing out on that business? they're either going to go to somebody who's got the $200 price point because they're like, well, this must be the best person in the world, or they're going to be a little more price sensitive and find the person below. The odds of you finding someone who's going to be okay with the middle of the road, not bad, but you're being compared to other people who are on the middle of the road as well. So again, the only value you have by showing up on that first page of Google is the text that you put out there. And for the most part, I'm assuming most of you are not super confident in what your snippet is to capture the right type of client. Let's also keep in mind that you're not showing up for lashes in San Diego lashes, San Diego eyelash extensions. You are solely showing up for the one keyword that you're trying to focus on, and maybe you have a couple in there that you're trying, but if you're investing a lot of time and energy, you're going to show up higher on one keyword versus maybe 3 or 4 other ones you're trying to include in there. So if somebody types in lashes San Diego and my keyword focus is eyelash extensions in San Diego, I'm not going to show up on that first page of Lashes San Diego. So do you see where this starts to get really overwhelming and complicated? Right. So the only people, is it worth it? I guess is the question that we need to address. Is it worth it to focus on SEO as a part of your marketing strategy? The only people I recommend diving into SEO, and it's not even a necessity that they do, but where I can justify the energy and time and money put into that, is those who have staff that they are paying their staff, whether their staff is taking clients or not. So if you have employees that you are paying to be in your business, whether they are making you money or not, I am A-okay with you focusing some energy and some resources on SEO, because you don't have to be as particular with clients, because you need to actually make sure that your staff is getting fully booked and booked up so that they are then turning a profit and you're not losing money on just having them sit there not with any clients. That's okay to then focus on SEO and just start driving a bunch of traffic into your business. If you are a solo lash artist or you have a very small team and limited resources, SEO is a huge waste of your time and energy and money, especially when you compare it to social media. Especially when you compare it that we're in a visual industry. We are affecting how someone's appearance gets presented to the world. So yes, they may find you on the first page of Google, but they're also going to go to your social media page to check you out. You might as well just focus on the social media, post consistently. It's not going to cost you anything. Focus on targeting the right types of clients so that you can get the right types of clients in your business. Because I don't teach on you just bringing anybody into your business. I want you to bring in specific types of clients that are not necessarily going to just compare you on your price point. If you are just showing up on a search without any other value to provide it, you will be solely based on your price point. If you want to get away from being compared on by price, you need to provide some other value as to why you're different, and it's not an apples to apples comparison, and the only differentiator is price. You know why you're in orange compared to the apples in your city, right? So you need to communicate that. Social media is a much easier, much cheaper way to do that. There's also in-person strategies that are worth your time and investment and energy rather than something so technical as SEO. So let's move on to the story of, is SEO worth your time and energy? So we already discussed that maybe Google searching and showing up on the first page of Google is not as amazing as it sounds. Let's talk about if SEO is really that important to your website and your overall marketing plan. So if you want to geek out on SEO and learn about it because it's something you're interested in, by all means, do you. However, if I know lash artists, and I think I do by now, y'all don't want to spend a lot of time learning how to do technical stuff, learning how to update your website, writing blogs so that your website is current, staying up to date on your website, changing out photos, and getting a YouTube education on SEO. And most of you also likely don't have the resources available to pay someone to do all of that for you, right? Because it can be several $100s because of how intensive and ongoing maintenance SEO can be. So if you're spending a lot of time and energy on SEO, you have to be able to track a return on your investment, whether that's your time or whether that's your money. Those are both resources that you need to be able to show. I spent 6 hours on this and this is what I got in return, or I spent $600 on this, and I broke even and covered my costs because of the clients I got into my business. If you don't have a way to track that, then SEO is not the best use of your time. Social media is a little bit easier to track just because you can start to see growth. You can start to have people message you. The reason why I don't teach on SEO is because I did not use it in my business. Straight up, I try not to, and I don't teach on things that I haven't actually experimented or tried myself. I did do Google Ads for 1 month, and I will tell you, if you don't want to spend the time to learn SEO, but you want to play that Google game, pay for somebody to do Google Ads. Google will also help you set up ads. That way you show up for sure on the first page, and you can start to track the leads because it will track the clicks to your business. The reason why I only did Google Ads for 1 month and I say it didn't work for me is because as a solo lash artist, I could not answer my phone as much as it rang. I got traffic to my website and I got calls into my business. They weren't the right types of clients because I was higher priced, and they seemed to be a lot of price sensitive deal seekers. And I couldn't respond to them in time. What I got a lot of off of Google, and this may have just been San Diego, I'm not saying this is true for you, I got a lot of people who wanted in that day or the next day. They were all of a sudden decided, I want lashes now. It was very impulsive. And so they Google search, and whoever came up then, that's who they chose. And I could not return their calls fast enough because at the end of the day, I made it clear I wasn't going to call people after 5:30 at night because A, I wouldn't want somebody calling me at that time of night to try and book an appointment. And it was likely 6 or 7 hours after when they had initially called me. So I spent $350 in 1 month on Google Ads, got a lot of traffic, but couldn't keep up with it. And because I didn't list my prices on my website, and we'll get into that another day, they had to contact me to understand my price point. So I got to have a couple of conversations with people who would say, nah, that's too expensive, and move on. And this is before I had a strategy in place to provide value before I gave them the price point. So that's why Google was not a huge part, barely even a blip on my radar in building my business. So let me give you some relief here. SEO is not how I built my massively successful business, and you 1000% can have a thriving business without placing any importance on SEO as being a part of your overall marketing strategy. Phew! Can I get an amen for that sentence? If you want to learn an easier and faster way to market your business, I invite you to join me in my free 4-part marketing workshop series, From Surviving to Thriving, and it starts on June 24th. You can register for that workshop at www.thelashpreneur.com/workshop. So now that you have an understanding of SEO, we talked about if it's really worth the time, energy, and money to put into optimizing your website, and that the return of your investment into SEO may not even be bringing in the ideal types of clients that you want into your business. Feel free to breathe a sigh of relief that you don't have to have SEO as a part of your overall marketing strategy. And if you'd like to learn more about SEO, go find somebody else because it ain't me. I recommend you go talk to my website guru, Kaylee Bartlett. She was on episode 14. You can find her contact information inside of that episode if you really want to learn more about SEO and if it's a game you should be playing inside of your local market. So join me next week as I uncover exactly why you're struggling in your lash business. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a good one.